So good morning, everyone. We still have a couple of minutes to start our second day of the Issuu Academy. So let's wait for the rest of the people to join. And my name is Jana, and I will walk you through article stories and visual stories today. So let's wait for the other attendees to join. I can see more of you are joining. This is awesome. So hello. In the meantime, before we start, hi everyone, my name is Jana and I will walk you through the second day of Issuu Academy. But before we start, let me summarize what we talked about yesterday. We talked about how to publish your content on Issuu. We also talked about some basics about your username and the display name, that the username cannot be changed, but the username can be changed. We talked about how to optimize your profile page. So there is the display name, there is the description. You should also add the photo of yourself or the logo of your company. And when we talk about description, it is actually always good to add descriptions. We will talk about that a lot today with article stories and visual stories. This improves your SEO and gets you higher chance of being ranked by Google in the search results. So one more minute to start. So after yesterday's topics, such as how to publish your content, how to add links and videos, and how to share, which is how to create the full screen reader link that opens in full screen with no distraction, how to embed the reader on your website, and how to create a GIF, which is that short looping video that I showed you yesterday. We will be talking about stories that are great for mobile optimized content for you to share with your audience. So, well, yeah, it's 10 a.m. Central European time. So thanks everyone for joining today. My name is Jana and I'm hosting the workshops for everyone who is located in the time zone anywhere in Europe or Africa or Asia. And I also know that a couple of times we also had attendees from Australia and New Zealand. So in case you're attending and it is evening your time, I think it's great that you are joining to learn more about all the possibilities that you have on Issuu. Today we will be talking about mobile optimization, about our features of article stories and visual stories that are on all plans. So you are not limited by being on a paid plan. You can create these on any plan on Issuu. We are live streaming to YouTube today. So for everyone who is joining on YouTube and you would like to join the workshop live, you can go to issuu.com and there under support, if you go to webinars, you will be able to select either the European one or the North American one. So depending on your time zone, if you are in North America, South America, or anywhere in Caribbean, for example, then you can join the Issuu Academy that my colleague Tina facilitates every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time zone, or you can join the one that we host in Europe, which always takes place on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central European time. We'll be able to ask questions. So also some housekeeping items for everyone who is already attending. You will all be muted throughout the workshop, but in case you have any questions, please submit them with this Q&A button. Just click the button click the icon and type your question. It is always better if you type your questions or ask the questions during the workshop, because then I can demo everything throughout the workshop. Of course, if there are some unanswered questions at the very end, of the workshop, then I dedicated a couple of minutes for these as well. But please ask throughout the workshop. Also, we will be emailing these slides. So the presentation that I'm covering and that I was covering yesterday, today, and I will be covering tomorrow. It will be all in that email, and also the recording will be available on the Facebook page, because today we are live streaming to Facebook. We also have some archived, some old recordings from the previous weeks stored also on YouTube. So sorry, on Facebook, on our Facebook page. So if you want to get back and watch the recording, it is available on our YouTube and also some old recordings from the previous weeks on Facebook. So today's workshop topics, we will be talking about issue stories, what these are, how to create these. So we have article stories and visual stories, and these are different formats that can be used for different social media channels for different purposes. We will also talk about some free promotion that we have available for everyone who is attending the Issuu Academy. I will, as always, jump into the tool and I will show you how to create everything, how to create article stories and visual stories, and what is the way to share these. And if there are still some questions that I haven't answered during the workshop, then I will focus on these at the very end. Even though article stories and visual stories are not on paid plans, we still have this opportunity for anyone who wants to jump on premium plan. We have 30% off for your first year on premium annual if you want to upgrade. So this is of course related mainly to paid features. So if you would like to, for example, embed the publication on your website, all the things that I showed yesterday and that I will be also showing tomorrow with statistics, it makes sense for you to go to jump on premium. But article stories and visual stories can be created on all plans. So yeah, let me start with just a general overview of what we had on Issuu until we released the stories. So before we had stories on Issuu, it was very simple. I still think it's a very simple process of what you can do on Issuu. But before stories, the way it looked that you had the PDF or the publication ready to upload on Issuu, you uploaded the publication. That's how you got the link to the document page, or a full screen reader link if you are on paid plans, the one that opens in full screen, or you also were able to embed that publication, that reader on your own website. After that, we came with the GIF, which is this short looping video. It takes the spreads from your publication and it creates this kind of GIF that you can use, for example, for your Instagram feed. You can also place it on your website, and you can also place it, for example, inside the body of an email. So in case you are sending out newsletters, it might be a good idea to use this inside of the newsletter, because it works great as a teaser. If you are using MailChimp or Constant Contact or Active Campaign, Sendinblue, you will be able to link the GIF out. So you can link it to any URL. In our case, I would suggest either, if you are not on paid plans, link it to the document page on Issuu. If you are on paid plans, then you can select the full screen reader link, or if you have the publication embedded, link it there. So then everyone who will be reading your newsletter, they will see this GIF in the body of the email. And if they feel like reading it, if they hover over and click, they will be sent to read the entire publication. So that was the experience before the online audience in general. It is that more than 60% of the online audience is on mobile. I'm sorry, but my internet seems to be a bit unstable, so hopefully it will be working properly now. So because of the fact that most of the online audience is using their mobile phones and tablets, we came up with this new feature of article and visual stories. You can see how these look on phone. So article story is basically a format where you can vertically scroll down and you can read the content of it, and you can simply recreate. Basically what you do is you recreate the publication content into an article story within our article stories editor, and as a visual story that you can see here, that is a format. It is a format for stories on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. These are very good videos that you can use for social media. You can also share it just as a link, because both article stories and visual stories work as a link, and these links are also indexed. So now let me tell you a bit more about these, and I will start with the article stories. So on this screen on the right side, you can see how the publication looks in the desktop version, and what is also the possibility for you if you go and recreate it into article stories. The desktop version is still, of course, an existing one. You don't replace it by article stories, but an article story can be something like an extension. So if you know, for example, that and I would say it can be even 20% of your audience reading your content on their mobile screens. If you know that you have these readers that are using their mobile phones or tablets, then it is a good idea to go and recreate the desktop version into a mobile version, into an article story, so people can simply scroll down through the article story and read the content. It is, as we state here, it is optimized for mobile screens. You can also create as many as you want. It is a great content marketing tool. So in case you have a lot of content inside of the publication, you can recreate as many article stories as you want, and you can feed your content marketing calendar. It is also more targeted content, because from what I remember, sometimes talking to customers who were deciding between two cover pages, two cover images for their magazine or for their catalog, and they were thinking it might not resonate with a particular audience of mine. So for example, if you are publishing tiles and you've decided to have very conservative tiles on the cover page, it might not resonate with someone who is more into colorful and playful style. So in this case, if you have a part of your publication that is dedicated to this kind of content, more colorful or playful, you can simply go and create an article story of this, and then share this article story, and you will be able to reach this niche audience of yours. So that's what we mean by saying that you can create more targeted content, and you can easily share it as a link. What is important though is that if you publish unlisted publications, then remember not to create article stories for these unlisted publication. It is simple. It is because article stories are indexed. We don't have unlisted article stories on Issuu. So if you go and if you create, in this case, if I publish this publication as unlisted with the article, the paper girl in it, so the publication is called Bone Shaker. So if I publish Bone Shaker as unlisted publication, and if I then go and create an article story, then the article story will be indexed, and people will be able to get through the article story to the original publication, which is probably what you do not want to happen if you publish your content as unlisted. For those of you who do not know what unlisted is, it is basically publishing your content that is hidden, that is also private, sort of, and only people who have the direct link to the publication will be able to access it. With the digital sales publications, it is a bit different. So if you are selling your content on Issuu, if you are selling your books or magazine, newspaper, or brochures, for example, if you're selling these on Issuu, you can still use article stories. It is actually a good idea because these work as a teaser. I will show you one example of So Young magazine who uses article stories as a teaser. So people are able to read through the article story, and then if they click on the original to get to the original publication, they will be asked to purchase it if they want to read all the pages. This is again how article stories look on a publication workspace. So you can always see the desktop version, the flipbook basically, and in here you can also see how the article story looks like. So this is what we pulled from the flipbook, from this particular spread, and this is how the article story. This is the article story preview. On the right side, you can see all the article stories that you created from the publication. You can also see the status, whether it is published or whether it is in draft mode. You can edit it from here directly. You can also share it from here, or you can delete the article story. Article stories are also listed on the document page on Issuu below the reader. This can be useful because you can show the readers what is behind the cover instead of them, flipping through the publication or going to the table of content. You can also have it listed in here. So if you have articles, if you have interviews, if you're, for example, publishing a catalog with products, you can also list or create article stories of products. We also see that. And as I said before, it is everything is indexed on Google, so it is a good idea to add the right title to the article story and add a good description, and also use some keywords that are important for either your business or important to tell the readers what the article story is about. So these were article stories, and let me tell you a bit more about visual stories. So as you can see, this is a very different format to article stories. It is a video format for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram stories. So first it was Instagram to introduce stories, then Facebook followed, and LinkedIn also has stories now. Visual stories can be shared as a link or as MP4 video, so we make it possible for you to download the visual story as well. It works as a video teaser, and in case you want to share it with your audience across, for example, Facebook or Instagram stories, it always depends on that particular social channel. So for example, with Instagram, you can add this swipe up button. You probably know this from your personal usage of Instagram as well, that some of people that you follow have sometimes this swipe up option in there. For that, you need to have more than 10,000 followers. So this is not something that we can influence on Issuu. It always depends on the social media platform that you're using. Why we think this is beneficial, visual stories, is that you can easily pull the images. You can also pull the text from the publication, and you can create these videos within a couple of minutes. Again, a note for unlisted publications: if you create these, remember visual stories are indexed. So if you do not want anyone who doesn't have the direct link to the publication, then we would suggest we won't suggest creating visual stories, because these are indexed. If someone goes to search on Issuu, search on Google, and they type in from C to C, or new health protocols or ensemble vacations 2020, they might be able to find the visual story and from there get to the original publication. So in here, this is a summary. So we are using the same content. So on the left side, you can see the flipbook, the publication that you get if you go to Issuu, if you upload your publication. And on the right side, you can see these two different formats. You can see an article story that can be easily created in Article Stories Editor, and you can also see a visual story. Now, let me live demo everything that we talked about. Let me see if there are some questions. So there's a question asking if you need to share the article stories and visual stories. So yes, if you want to share it across your audience, then we suggest sharing article stories and visual stories. Of course, article stories are basically shown on Issuu. So I have this good example in the Loop magazine. So you can see this is a fishing magazine, and if someone goes to their profile page, if they click this show stories inside, people will be able to see all the article stories that the publisher created, the title, the description. So yeah, the article stories are shown on your profile page. Also, if someone goes and opened a particular publication, they will be able to see the article stories listed below the content as well. One thing why I also think this is useful for everyone is because if you create the article stories, you basically own bigger part of this page. So if someone scrolls down, this is still your own content. You know that for premium publishers, we are removing this read more section below the reader, and if you have article stories, it is even it is brought even more at the bottom. So if someone gets to that page, they will see a lot of your own content, and then there are some read more sections or similar to, which also has some ads inside, and it might be content that is not yours. So that's why we suggest creating article stories, just to own a bigger part of this page. So, and with visual stories, these are not listed anywhere on your account. These are just indexed on Google. So yes, we suggest sharing both. So not only creating article stories and visual stories, but also sharing these. But let me jump to my test account. And let me show you how to create article stories and visual stories. I have this publication that I usually use as an example. So in here you can see the flipbook, and on the right side you can see all the article stories that I've created. This is the experience on mobile phone. And how to create new ones is just simply click on this create new story. In here, select the pages that you want to create for the article story. So let's say that we will be creating an article story from these pages. And we are getting to the article stories editor. In here, we will include all segments. You can change the header image. And you can play around with all these. You can split the paragraph. You can change it into quote. You can move the images up and down. If you do not like how they look, you can delete them. You can delete the other parts. You can also add more of the text yourself. So that's totally up to you. What you cannot do is you cannot add your own images in there. So, but if you know that there's some good if there are some good images, you can go back and you can select more of the pages in there. and add these. And if you are happy with how everything looks like, then you can go here under settings, to edit the title, add the description. So the description it's always good for your SEO. So add the description as often as possible if you can. If you go under preview, you will see how the visual story will look like. You can still edit it. And you can have a look at the content in here. You can move stuff a bit more up if you want to have the visual further up. And if you are satisfied, you can go and you can publish the article story. You get the link that you can then share across your social media. For example, then everyone who clicks on this link, they will see this version. They will be also able to go to the next story, of your publication. Further, they will also be able to go to the original publication if they click here on Digital Awesomeness. And in here, they will be able either to flip through the flip book. You will also be able to read all the articles that you created. So I had this example of In the Loop magazine. We also have National Museum of Korea on Issuu and how they create article stories. So this is the experience in here, and this is how their article stories look like. And people can simply go to read more of your content, and also to get to the original publication where the article story was created from. I mentioned before that we also have publishers who sell their content and who create article stories. So I have this example of So Young magazine and the article stories that they create. So you can see that if someone wants to purchase this publication, to read this publication, they need to purchase it. You still have a couple of preview pages that you can show your readers. But hide the rest. What you can also do is you can simply create an article story that works basically as a teaser. So yeah, So Young magazine, they share this across their social media, then people are able to read this article story. But if they want to go to the original publication, and if they want to read the entire publication, the entire issue, they now need to go and purchase it. So we do suggest creating article stories for digital sales publications. And let me go to show you how to create a visual story. So let's get back to that publication that I showed before. If we scroll down a bit in here, you can see the list of visual stories. So in my case, I already created 31, but to create a new one, you can either click this plus button or visual stories in the left menu. So if we go and if we create a new story, as I said before, this works great as a teaser. So select some nice visuals, and you can also select some pages with text, and then we will be taken to the visual stories editor. This is a bit more heavy compared to article stories. So let me reselect it again. I might need to close some windows. And let me show you how to get to the visual stories editor. All right, so now it was without any issue. We have 3 different templates, 3 different styles: voice, inspire, and engage. So if you go under preview, you can always see how they look like. So this is inspire. It is slowly. I very much like this one. Voice is a bit faster. So depending on your content, what you have published, then you can select one of these. Engage. For engage, you can also use your own logo, as you can see in here. But we might just take. Let me close some of the other other tabs. All right, you can actually try in Chrome, try in Safari. Create visual story. Let's get to the editor. So in this case, what we can do is we can also go to, I would like to show you in our help center, we have a lot of articles that cover visual stories. So if you go in our help center under issue stories, if you for visual stories on issue, you will actually be able, we also have a tutorial explaining how to create these. So what I showed you before, you need to select the pages, and here you can select the style that you would like to use, and then simply under assets by drag and drop, you will be able to add the images. Also, if you go under text, report the text, so you will be also able to rewrite the text, move the text boxes up and down. And again, under settings, add the title, add the description. And once you think you're done, all you need to do is click on create a story. So let me see if we moved. Okay, perfect. So by drag and dropping, this is what I meant. You can also rewrite the text to the one that you want to have in there. You can also move the boxes, as I said before, up and down. And under settings, add the title, add the description. Always remember to add the description for your SEO. And then under preview, you will be able to see how everything looks like. And if we go and if we create a story, it always takes a minute or two to assemble the story, but from there you will be able to share it as AMP link. So then everyone who opens the publication, this is what they get. So this is one of the examples that I wanted to show you. This is Visit Faroe Islands, and how they create visual stories, and they share it across their Instagram stories as well. So this is AMP, a link that lives live on Google. It is indexed, and everyone has access to it. If they finish the visual story, they can see the description of the visual story, and they can also go to the original publication. So in this case, you can see that Faroe Islands are also creating article stories, and people will be also able to go and read the article stories then from there. What you can also do, and let me go back. So this is the visual story that we created. This is the link that we got that I want to show you. So this is what we just created together. If you want to download it as MP4 video, you can do so simply by clicking here on download visual story, and you will be able to then upload it as a story to Facebook or Instagram. We actually make it possible for you to share it to Instagram. You cannot do so from desktop, but you need your phone. So for that, you just simply need to scan this code and then get it on your phone, and from there share it to Instagram. So that was it. That was all. That was all the examples that I had for you. And let me jump back back to the presentation if there are no questions at the moment. And that would be it. If you are creating article stories or visual stories, and if you are sharing these with your own audience, you can use this hashtag #MyIssueStory. And we are keeping an eye on this hashtag, and we are very happy always to promote some of the Academy attendees content. So please use this hashtag #MyIssueStory if you will be sharing your article stories or visual stories across social media. So remember, #MyIssueStory. And for any one of you who would like to jump on premium annual plan to use some of our premium features, so you are very welcome to. You just need to type in Academy 30 when you will be upgrading. So click on this promo code. On this link, I have a promo code, and type in Academy 30, and you will get 30% off on the premium annual plan. There will be a post-webinar survey when we say goodbye. So if you have any feedback, any topics you would like us to cover, please share these. And I will be looking forward to see most of you tomorrow. We will be talking about statistics, and we will summarize everything around sharing. So full screen reader link, GIF creation, embedding, stories as well, because the more you share, the better performance you get under your statistics. So statistics is the main topic for tomorrow. Hope to see most of you. Thanks for joining today, and have a great rest of the day.